Previously on My Little Pony. Twilight? Oh, she's still breathing. I'm sorry, Spike. Polarity! Rarity, Fluttershy. Twilight is still alive. She must be healed as soon as possible. On it. Pinky, help me stop Spike. Pinky? Pinky! Follow me. Okay. I won't hurt him. He's my friend too. Oh my goodness. Twilight, let's heal her, Fluttershy. Look at her neck, Rarity. Fluttershy, you must calm down. If we don't hurry, we'll lose her. Yes, I'm sorry. Charity emergency. Spike, why did you do this? Meanwhile, with Rainbow and Pinky. Calm down, Spike. He's very fast, a single oversight, and he could destroy me as he did Twilight. I don't want to hurt you, Spike, but you leave me no choice. Like machine gun. Magnetical spear. He's too strong. Sorry, Spike. Pinky? What are you doing to him? I'm drowning him. What? Once he lose consciousness, it'll be easier to remove that jewel stuck to his chest. And by the way, you should help me by throwing one of your little rays at him. Oh, okay. Thunderbolt! Do you have to shout the name of your techniques every time you attack? Do why what do you care? That's how I fight. And they say I'm the crazy one in the group. Shut up. That's how we superheroines are. Silly girls, your pathetic attacks only make him more angry. Why is why is it shining like that? I'm sorry. I know it's your little spike, but this boy rises my temperature. Oof. Pinky, please stop now. With Rarity, Fluttershy, and Twilight. Twilight, are you feeling better? Why, Rarity, why didn't he hear me? Why didn't he hear his sister? Twilight, it's the ruby that's dominating Spike. We must remove it as soon as possible. Easier said than done, Rarity. You're not facing any threat. Don't ever speak to us again. I thought you were someone you could trust, but you finally showed your claws. Rarity, she's not Lady Zecora. What? What did you say, Twilight? Are you sure? In the 5 days I was with my sister, I was able to see what the real Zecora looked like. Sometimes she's very cold and distant, but when I felt depressed, remembering the battle I had with Trixie and showed how everybody was at risk, she was always close to me to support me and lift my spirits. Not only did I feel like she was a teacher, also began I also began to see her as a second mother. But this woman is just the opposite. In her, I can only see deception and betrayal. Twilight, you're still too young to understand human behavior. They are a species with many lights and shadows and deceive even to the closest to them if the situation warrants it. I agree with you. They are a species with many lights and shadows. Lady Zecora. But in this world, there are people like Twilight and her friends who still possess the honesty, loyalty, and justice that make it worth to continue trusting them. Twilight, you were right. She's an imposter. So, who is she? I'm sorry I'm late, but something altered my teleportation again and sent me far, far away from here. Now that I'm facing this emanation, it's possible that she's the guilty one. Lady Zecora, you don't know how much pleasure it gives me to face not the only last protector of the Jewels of Harmony and the legacy of Equestria, but also the only inhabitant of Equestria that, without being a unicorn or an alicorn, managed to control magic in its totality. You are an example to the souls which once inhabitants that world, in demonstrating that magic was in everyone and could be used by anyone. Who are you, and what did you do to Spike? My name is of no importance, and about Spike, I only gave him what belongs to him. I know all of his history and all who inhabits that kingdom, and Spike never had such power, for he was still a baby dragon when Celestia sent everyone into this world. I know you're a living library because Celestia enchanted you with the eternal spirit, and thus you were able to prevent your spirit and memories of that time. But Equestria, you spent most of your life in a forest. It is to be expected that you don't know everything that happened in the village where the barriers lived. How do you know that? If I'm going to supplant you, it's not only enough to resemble you physically. It's only good to know about your life. Eternal Spirit? It's a very ancient magic that Celestia enchant Zecora with before coming to this world. But this isn't the time to go into details. Only that, thanks to it, Zecora has managed to learn many things, even to use magic as if she had been a unicorn. Although, I could have get here sooner. I could, through telepathically, hear everything you told Rarity. But I'm sure you have more to reveal. I imagine, Lady Zecora, that you want to know about Spike and why he's now an Omega level being. The reason is simple. He's one of the last descendants of the Berserker dragons. Berserk dragons? A very special kind of dragon that scorched Equestria long before Celestia and Luna ruled the kingdom together. As you know, before Celestia and Luna, when they were only infants, there was an alicorn that reigned through order and justice. Later, he would be known in another appearance and under a new name, Discord. Discord was never an alicorn and only ruled through chaos. The story I'm going to tell you happened long before he changed his name to Discord. His appearance became that of a draconequus. There was a time when the alicorns formed a population as large as the pegasi or unicorns, and of that species there were 5 supreme alicorns, among them the one we know as Discord, who in turn was the one who ruled all of Equestria. His kingdom would have been perfect had it not be for a problem that threatened all Equestria, especially the kingdom where the alicorns lived, and that threat was the Berserk dragons. Hybrid creatures, half dragons, half demons. A mixture of dragon, demon? Yeah, just imagine the strength and endurance of dragons mixed with the power and magic of demons. It is said that they were created by an evil being of great power, who imagined to extract forbidden souls, and from those souls came these powerful dragons. According to legend, the number of alicorns were fell drastically as the winters passed, for the primary desire of these dragons was the magic possessed by the alicorns within. Discord reached the limit of despair and opted to make a drastic decision. He would gather all the alicorns and then go to the realm of these dragons to eliminate them definitely. But not in the traditional way. His intention was to send all the souls of these dragons to a live stream. Send them to the live stream? If you do that, all those souls vanish and become part of this place. It's the only way to kill a soul. It's not possible that the other alicorns would have accepted this decision. It goes against the very law of life. You have even you, Zecora, underestimate the power of fear. When it turns to panic, even the Satanists take desperate measures. And this was not exception. This was no exception. The other alicorns accepted that the plan of discord was the only thing that could be done. But one refused to fulfill that mandate. The Archnic of Equestria. As the one in charge of practically creating Equestria, destroying the souls of these dragons seemed an abbreviation to her. She agreed that these dragons had to be stopped, but she refused to accept the opinion, the option of destroying their souls. There was a great argument between these two imposing alicorns. Discord knew that the source of the power of the Berserk dragons was in their souls, and feared that if their bodies were destroyed, these souls would be reborn in another form. Even so, the Archnic still refused. As much as the Artnik tried to convince the other alicorns to refuse, their decision had already been made. That day, the Artnik chose not to live in the dimension that herself had helped to create anymore, because she didn't tolerate living together with those who decided to violate a law of life out of fear, and that's why she currently lives in the Azure world. But the Artnik was very stubborn. Before leaving, she made an important decision. Risking her own life, she opted to enter the realm of these dragons before the others came for war. The war, which, as an extra fact, also was the end of the great population of the alicorns. The Artnik managed to enter without being noticed. It struck 2 eggs from that place. It took them to the kingdom of Equestria. One of these eggs was left in a very remote and unknown place. The other, ironically, she left in Canterlot, along with the other eggs of other kinds of dragons. They were used for special unicorns, and with her power, she modified their entire history, so they could never know what kind of dragon it really is. She was certain that no unicorn could open such an egg, as the level of magic required could only be performed by alicorns. That was one of the reasons why the Berserk dragons needed the magic of the alicorns, so they could open their eggs with it. And the Artnik was right. Hundreds of winters passed, and no unicorns was given that egg to pass the exam managed to open it. Who could have thought that later a small purple unicorn would be born with a power strong enough to open that egg and thus return a berserk dragon to life? I never in my life heard that part of equestrian history, but it exists. It was written by the same Artnik and kept it in the library of the Royal Palace of Equestria. Lies. When the Celestia sent others to this world, she named me protector of the jewels of Harmony. It gave me access to all the information that was preserved in that library. In the library. But these texts are in the library's basement, and you can only access it with very old magic. Magic neither Celestial nor Luna even know about. But you were able to go there and read those scriptures? My lady, perhaps I am not just a simple copy of you, as you imagine. And in this moment, ow, my butt! That boy doesn't know how to play fair. Pinky! Twilight, how wonderful! You're not her anymore. Hey, Spike, be more careful. Can't you see that I'm a lady? Ah, don't get angry. Don't you dare hurt her, Spike. Ah, Pinky, help! Let go of her, Spike. Let her go, Spike. I said drop her, Spike. Spike! I'm sorry, Spike. I didn't mean to. He put his fingers back together. We already know what Spike could study in university. Chiropractic. Why is Spike aura visible? Plus, it radiates an incredible amount. How pitiful. You still don't know the danger you're in. I won't waste any more time. I'll take that jewel away from you. And how will you do that? I'll just like I do it with Discord jewels, with magic extraction. Pinky, draw Spike's attention while I'll cast the spell. As you command, boss. Hey, Spike. Would you like a sweeten your life with this delicious pink pie? Hee hee, hi hi. Ah! Get his attention in less weird way. And don't forget, you're talking to my little brother. Okie dokie, the next one is more Pacific. Now, Twilight, and hurry up. He's very strong. Extraction. What? It can't be. Your magic didn't affect the ruby. Something's stopping my magic from touching that jewel. It's his aura, Twilight. You must have used your magic before. His aura expanded and surrounding his body. When his aura expelled to the outside, the fire ruby gives him certain abilities of the Berserk dragons, and one of these abilities made these dragons immune to all kind of magical spells. What? It's not possible. As I told you, Zecora, the only way to defeat Spike now is through power and force. Through force? But none of the 5 barriers had enough physical strength to beat him. Sister, are you hurt? What's wrong with me? I feel anxious, as if something calls me to go looking for something. To be continued. Stay tuned until next time. Don't worry, Pink Amina will return very soon.